Ryan.
And I'm Zach.
And together,
we are
functionally literate.
That we are.
We can read functionally.
Books and stuff.
Books and stuff and things. We are joined today with Jacques. He will be our sound guy, so you're not going to hear him, but know that he's here and making sure that everything sounds great for you guys. So today, we are continuing our tale of Morte Arthur 6. That is the tale of Sir Lancelot du Lake, son of King Ban.
You know, it just occurred to me that du Lake means of the lake.
Yeah.
It's Lancelot of the lake.
Of the lake.
Of no relation to Lady of the Lake.
I mean,
Lady du Lake.
I mean, he's not a fae person.
He's not. I just think that's interesting.
It is interesting.
He's also named that.
Yeah. Of the lake. We're going to be discussing chapters 7 through 12 today. And let's talk about where we left off. Yeah?
Let's do it.
What happened last episode?
Oh, so much stuff. Lancelot went on many adventures. He took a lot of naps.
He took a nap.
Sir Lionel, he took 2 naps. He took one under the apple tree. He took the other one in Sir Bellius's lover's bed.
Yeah, but that was at night. He was trying to sleep.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it was just a nap.
It was just a nap because he got woke up by some sweet smooching. Sir Lionel and Sir Ector get captured by a badass that likes to whip people with thorns.
Sir Turquine.
Yeah.
And Lionel and Ector are Lancelot's nephews.
Yeah, they're currently imprisoned. He gets captured by Morgan Le Fay and 3 other queens that are mad for that sweet Lancelot love.
They're like, you need to pick one of us as a lover.
He refuses.
And
he is then helped out of his predicament by a young woman under the promise that he ate her father. Turns out her father is king now, no longer Sir Bagdemagus, who is a virtuous man, and Lancelot is not at all opposed to helping him.
Yeah.
They have staged the tournament. Lancelot is dressed in unmarked armor with an unheralded shield, ready to aid in the tournament for his honor.
Yeah, so where we left off, the tournament, which it's not a typical tournament. Normally, tournaments are like one-on-one jousting, like with brackets, like you would picture a normal tournament being.
Yeah.
It feels to me like tournament in name only. It feels more to me.
This is more like a war game.
It feels more like team deathmatch to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've mustered their men, and they're just going to throw them together and see who comes out on top.
Yep. And Bagdemagus is at a considerable disadvantage because when he started this out, he only had 80 knights, and now I believe he has 68 knights.
Yeah, he's down some.
Yeah. So let's jump into it.
Chapter 7. How Sir Lancelot behaved him in the tournament, and how he met with Sir Turquine leading Sir Gaheris.
So this is a lengthy chapter, right? Like, it's a little odd. The way that it's formatted, I would have expected it to have been divided into 2.
Yeah, there's kind of 2 distinct events.
Yeah. So it starts with this tournament, right? So if you've been listening with us so far, you're used to how these things go, and it's very different. It's just 2 armies fighting.
Yep.
So after the first pass, King Bagdemagus, he's at this huge disadvantage. Lancelot charges in with those other 3 knights that are with him. He jabs his spear into the thickest crowd of Northgalis' knights, striking 5 of them down. 4 of them broke their backs. In that same crowd, he struck down the king of Northgalis and broke his femur.
That's a nasty break. That takes months to heal, and then more months to get the strength back in that thing. Like, he put that king up for like a year and a half.
Like, just
recovery.
in one move, he completely changes the tide of the battle.
Yep.
So the 3 knights of Arthur that representing King Arthur, like over off to the side, they witness all this. They see Lancelot fighting. They're not aware that it's him, just like Lancelot wanted it to go, because he's not wearing his own shield.
Mm-hmm.
So Sir Mador, has this guy come up before? It sounds familiar.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember it.
Well, this night, I'm going to go with Mador. Sir Mador is like, now there's a villainous man. We must go at him. So Sir Mador charges into the fray towards Sir Lancelot, who sent Mador and his horse down, knocking his shoulder out of the socket.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So Mordred sighs, and he's like, it falls to me to joust. Sir Mador has fallen. So
It's very passionate. You can tell.
yeah, you can tell that he's really enthused about this. So Lancelot sees Mordred coming at him. He grabs an unbroken spear and meets Mordred's charge. Mordred's spear breaks on Lancelot's armor. Lancelot hits him hard enough that it broke Mordred's saddle. So he flies over the back of the horse, hit the ground head first at an angle, so his helmet, like, gouged a foot through the ground, like, nearly breaking his neck. Like, if this were a Looney Tune, there would be, like, little helmeted birdies flying around his head. Like, he's just out.
Yeah.
So then Sir Gahalantine and Lancelot charge each other with all their might, and both their spear shafts splintered at the first strike. So they switch to swords and start fighting each other on horseback that way. Then Sir Lancelot's rage flared, and he struck Sir Gahalantine on his helmet so hard that his nose, ears, and mouth just start bursting blood, and his head, like, sinks.
Yeah. That's a severe TBI.
Yeah. So now, like, with nobody to control the horse runs away, and eventually he just falls off the horse to the ground. Like, he got fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he's concussed.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Oh, real bad. Real bad. Like, if you get hit hard enough that blood comes out of all of your orifices, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then Lancelot proceeds to wipe out 16 knights with a single spear. When that one broke, he grabs another spear, wipes out 12 more knights. The narrative doesn't specify how well the rest of Bagdemagus's knights did, but, you know, Lancelot alone.
It doesn't seem like it matters.
Yeah, like, he did well enough that the king of North Gallus's men didn't want to play anymore.
They said, this game sucks.
Yeah, and, you know, the passerby watching all of this, they declare Bagdemagus and his men the winners. So, with this quote-unquote tournament in name only, honestly, when it's over, both teams, they go back home. Lancelot goes with King Bagdemagus to his castle, and there they and the king's daughter, they celebrate, and Lancelot was given gifts, I imagine, like loot and gold.
Yeah, you know, just prizes,
yeah,
cool things, knickknacks, jewelry.
So in the morning, he tells Bagdemagus he's going to go in search of his nephew, because he lost track of the lad when he was taken by the witch queens.
That's right.
So
he said, I got to go find Sir Lionel.
So he tells both the king and his daughter to go with God. And then specifically to the young lady, he says, if you ever need my services, let me know. I will not fail you, as I am a true knight.
That's right.
And then he leaves. So Sir Lancelot, you know, he goes on his way. This is where it transitions, where you would think...
You think there'd be a chapter break because that adventure's over.
And
now
we're
going to start a new one.
Yeah.
But...
I blame Caxton. You know, we've established he was the first editor. He was the worst editor. Like...
See, the problem was he didn't have a chapter blurb from Mallory. So he's like, fuck it, one chapter.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing, right? Like the traditions that Caxton established when he started editing, right? Like this idea, I'm gonna make chapters, first of all.
Yeah, and they're gonna have tiny little summaries.
And they're gonna have tiny little summaries so you can know what chapter you're looking at. If you just want to skim through and find a specific chapter, you want to reference something, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this way. Like, that's a really interesting tradition, right? Like, and you don't see a lot of that other than maybe chapter titles. But, like, you never get a chapter title that's like, how so-and-so did this, you know? So, Lancelot goes on his way. He travels into the same forest where he was taken during that nap that caused him so much trouble. And on the road, he meets a damsel riding on a white palfrey, which is a very fancy horse.
Yes, rich lady.
Yeah, very rich damsel. So they salute each other, and Lancelot's like, fair damsel, do you know of any adventures in this country? And she says, Sir Knight, there are adventures nearby, if you dare try them. And he's like, why wouldn't I dare? That's why I came all this way. And so she's like considering him, and she's like, well...
The arrogance of competence.
Yeah.
Of course I'll try. Do you know who I am?
Do you know? Like, I'm a knight.
I never lose.
I never lose. He's like the king of games.
Yeah.
So she's considering him, and she's like, well, you seem a good enough knight. If you dare face the best knight, I shall take you to see him. He will be the mightiest you'll have ever seen, so you will tell me who you are and of what court. It doesn't, like, say why she says that, but the implication, I think, being, so I can go and tell your court that you died.
You're not coming back.
Yeah. So he's like, "Dear damsel, it is nothing for me to tell you that. I am Sir Lancelot du Lake, and I am a knight of the Table Round." She's like, "Well, you seem skilled, sir. So if you seek adventures, here adventures will fall upon you. Near here dwells a knight that cannot be defeated. His name is Sir Turquine. As I understand it, he has in his dungeon 64 knights of King Arthur's court. He put those men there by his own hand indeed. But if you save those men, and if you are truly a knight, you must promise to go with me to deal with a false knight that torments me and several other ladies." And so Lancelot's like, "As you wish, damsel, so it shall be.
This is a steal. 2 adventures? Hell yeah.
Now bring me to this knight."
Yeah.
She's like, "Now, fair knight, come with me." And so that's when she brings him to the tree by the ford with all the shields and the cauldron by it. So before Lancelot gets started, he lets his horse drink its fill.
Right.
You know, he wants
Get ready.
Gotta get ready. Once the horse is ready, once he's ready, he takes the butt of his spear and he hits this cauldron. He hits it over and over and over until the bottom falls out. No one came. So he rides from one side of the manor's gates to the other, back and forth for half an hour. He's just like, "I'm fucking ready. I'm waiting." Then another knight came, not from within the manor, but from the forest. It was Sir Turquine, and he had with him another knight tied up and slung over the back of his horse. Lancelot recognized that knight. It was Sir Gaheris, fellow knight of the Round Table and brother to Sir Gawain. This is the honorable sibling, the one who scolded his brother for killing a woman because he wouldn't yield.
That's right. Gaheris is the good boy.
Uh-huh. Gaheris is the good boy.
Yeah. I think there's some interesting differences between how Sir Ector approached this same adventure and its outcome and how Lancelot approached it. So specifically, Ector went, hit the cauldron, and then went to go water his horse.
Yeah.
Which, not a lot of forethought there.
No.
You know, like, you don't be like, summon adventure, and then let's get ready for it.
No, you gotta get your buffs in first.
Right. So Lancelot was the smart guy who sat outside the boss chamber and laid all the buffs and then jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
But he also didn't half-ass it. Ector, like, went and tapped on it.
He was told, and then if you hit it 3 times, the knight will come.
Yeah, they tell Lancelot, "Hey, you hit that 3 times, adventure comes." And he just beats the shit. He's like, "I want all the adventure.
Fuck
not just
you
a little bit.
And your cauldron."
Yeah, so he's going as hard as he can at it. And the difference in the outcome is that Sir Ector is taken by surprise, whereas Lancelot takes Sir Tarquin by surprise.
So Lancelot sees Turquine with Gaheris, and he's like, "Now, fair damsel, I see over there a knight coming fast. He has an acquaintance of mine, the brother of Sir Gawain. I promise you, by Jove, at the first moment I have, I will rescue that knight. I shall defeat his master and deliver from danger all of his prisoners." So then he looks up at the tree, and he's like, "For I am certain he has 2 brethren of mine with him." Because, I mean, all those shields.
Yeah,
like,
he knows Ector and Lionel's shields. He sees them up there. He's like, "Oh, shit, I found him."
The thing about knights and their shields is, the shield is the way that you identify who a knight is.
Yeah, that's the calling card.
Every shield is unique. Like, it has a unique, like, banner or coat of arms or some kind of
their heraldry is all
painting.
unique,
like, like it's always distinctive and unique to the knight or to the knight's house.
There's also a very fun, like, traditional style, like, way to design those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you could get whole books about, like, the art of heraldry and what each thing's different part means, and, like, there are certain colors that are allowed for certain parts of the shield, and some that are like only people of a certain station are allowed to use these. Like, it's very interesting, but every knight has their own, unless for instance, like during the Roman campaign, they probably all wore the colors of King Arthur,
probably
because they were marching under him.
Yeah, because it was an army.
Maybe if you were like, maybe Lancelot got to wear his own because he was the commander of a unit,
perhaps. But even then, it most likely had,
it would have been
like,
subordinated to it
that like it represented where he came from.
Yeah. But so when they're just knight errant running around looking for stuff, they're wearing their own things.
Yeah.
So like from across the field, you can be like, "Oh, I know who that guy is."
Well, mentioning this because it was it makes sense that Lancelot could look in this tree, see all these shields, and recognize his nephew's shields.
Yeah.
So
And why he wanted to go into that tournament
without his shield.
with his armor and shield put away.
Yeah.
So because otherwise all the Knights of the Round Table would be like, oh, fuck, that's Lancelot.
Shit, it's Lancelot. We don't want to fight him.
Right.
Yeah. So when both knights, when Lancelot and Turquoise were aware of each other, they both gripped their spears tightly. And then Lancelot's like, now, fair knight, put down that wounded knight. Let him rest a while, and let us have a contest of strength and wits. For I have been told, and I can see, that you have greatly disrespected and humiliated Knights of the Round Table. Defend yourself. Turquine's like, you are of the Round Table. I defy you. I defy you and all your fellowship. And Lancelot, I love his response. He's like, that much is obvious.
He said, yeah, no shit.
No shit, man. Would you like to take a guess how many paragraphs was in that chapter?
I'm going to go 3. That seems to be a common theme.
4.
4?
It was 4 paragraphs this time.
Caxton's learning.
Chapter 8. How Sir Lancelot and Sir Turquoise fought together.
So they charged hard and fast, and then they struck each other's shields so hard that the backs of their horses broke. So here's what
That's really hard.
Here's what I think happened, right? I think these two knights, they are both simultaneously unstoppable forces and immovable objects, right? Like both of these guys, they're like the mutant juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
Like they start moving, they can't be stopped. So what happens when two forces that can't be stopped hit each other?
Horses die.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Like normally when these knights are jousting other knights, their opponents take all the force and would fly off their horse. But these men, they're like stone.
I imagine their leg grip is just so strong on the horse that like the front half of the horse keeps going because it's in front of that.
Yeah.
But then the back half of the horse is just held up with that force. And so the horse's spine just separates.
So you've got these two men that are like, I'm not fucking falling off this horse.
You will not get me off this horse.
And so all that kinetic energy had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It went down, broke their backs. Somehow these guys managed to avoid their horses like falling on them, like pinning them by the leg. They both like were able to like quickly dismount their horses before like anything bad could happen to them. They both draw their swords and shields, and then they proceed to beat the shit out of each other for 2 hours.
That's what you got to do.
So they were both very good at hitting each other, but they were not great at blocking each other.
No.
Like, I view it as they were both very good at managing to avoid each other's shields. It's not like they're bad at defense. It's just that both of them are so good at offense.
Yeah, I agree.
So eventually they run out of breath, and they both are leaning on their swords, bleeding, bruised, all around miserable, huffing, like, fuck. Now listen, Turquoise says. You stop hitting me and answer my question. Lancelot's like, go on. Turquine's like, you are the biggest man I've ever met, the best breathing, and you're just like one knight I hate more than any other knight. If you're not that knight, I will parley with you. For your love of your fellows, I will free them. I will free all of them, all 64 of them, if you tell me who you are. You and I will be friends, and you will never fail me as long as I live. Lancelot, wisely, did not give up his name right away.
He said, that's a good deal.
He's like,
tell me more.
He's like, that is well put. I like that. But since it's so we may be friends, who's this knight you hate above all others? And then Turquoise...
Here's the twist.
Turquoise goes on a little bit of a monologue here. He says, his name is Sir Lancelot du Lake. He slew my brother, Sir Carados, at the Dolorous Tower. So now this name's come up before, but I didn't look it up. Remind me what story this guy comes up in.
I want to say it was either in the War with the Five Kings, or it was in that battle against the 11 Kings. Sir Carados was in
I think
one
it
of
was
those
the first one.
on the opposing side.
I think it was the first one.
and was
Lancelot slew him in the War of the 11 Kings.
I believe so.
That's what it was. Yeah. So he's like, he slew my brother Sir Carados at the Dolorous Tower. He was one of the best knights alive, and so he would be the exception to my offer. I have vowed to fight him to the death on the day that I meet him. For his sake, I have killed 100 knights and utterly maimed just as many and thrown them into my dungeon. Quite a few have died down there, and I still have 64 of them. Tell me your name, good man, and I will give them to you so long as you are not Sir Lancelot.
Now see, here's another instance of Sir Lancelot showing that he is noble.
Yeah.
He very much could just fucking lie.
Straight up could have lied.
Man, thank God I'm not that guy. And then everybody's free and everybody gets to go home.
Yep.
But he doesn't.
No.
He can't. Lying would be wrong.
That goes against the code of honor. That goes against his oaths.
It goes against Christian virtue. Can't do it.
Can't lie. You got to be an honorable, honest person.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I understand completely. If I were such a man, I would want peace. But if I were such a man, there must be mortal death between us. Very well, Sir Knight. At your request, you must know that I am Lancelot du Lac, King Bon's son of Benwick. Yes, that very knight of the Round Table. And now I defy you. Do your best. Turquoine's like, Lancelot, welcome. You are most welcome to me, more welcome than any other knight. You and I are wed. We shall never part until one of us is dead.
That's pretty badass.
That is pretty badass.
I like that. Like he's fighting this guy's like, I got mad respect for you guy. I'm gonna tell you, we'll stop fighting right now. As long as you're not that guy I fucking hate. And Lancelot's like, that sucks. Because I am that guy you fucking hate. And then instead of being upset and being like, oh, that's a shame, he just goes, oh, it's the best day of my life. Fuck yeah. I'm so excited.
Let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
So they lunge at each other.
I love it. Such a Chad move.
They charge each other like raging bulls. They go at each other with such ferocity that sometimes they'd fall on their faces, but then they'd fling themselves off the ground to get back into the fight, right? They kept at it for 2 more hours, never taking a moment to rest. The chapter ends with Sir Turquoine giving Sir Lancelot so many wounds that the ground was thoroughly freckled with his blood.
Chapter 9. How Sir Turquoine was slain, and how Sir Lancelot bade Sir Gaheris deliver all the prisoners.
So eventually, Turquoine lost his stamina. So he pulls back. He struggles.
Well, shit, it's been 4 hours.
It's been 4 hours with a little break in between.
I used to wrestle in high school, and those 6 minutes suck.
Yeah.
That's a lot of expended effort in just 6 minutes. Do that for 4 hours?
4 hours.
Holy cow.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be bad.
So yeah, he lost his stamina. He pulls back. He's struggling to hold up his shield. Lancelot sees his weakness. And then in mere seconds, he grabs Turquoine by... So now this is weird. The beaver of his helm.
The beaver of his helm.
I interpreted that as like the grill of his helm.
Yeah, it could be that or the strap.
Yeah. So he grabs Turquoine by the helmet, uses it to pull him down to his knees before ripping the helmet off, and then cuts his head off.
That's right.
And then just like that, the fight's over.
There's no more words that need to be said.
Yeah.
They've said all the words they need. He's like, this is to the death.
Yeah.
And so you will die.
So Lancelot, he walks over to the damsel. I imagine after taking a moment or 10 to rest.
He just stands up, just gives a nice...
Yeah.
And then marches over. Well, anyway.
He's like, hey, damsel, I'll go with you wherever you want, but I have no horse.
Yeah. I'm kind of horseless at the moment.
She's
it
like,
just broke its back.
She's like, sir, you should take your wounded friend's horse and tell him to go into the castle and free all the prisoners. So he goes over to Sir Gaheris and he's like, please don't be upset with me, but I need your horse. Gaheris is like, upset with you? Please, take her. My horse and I would both be dead or worse if not for you. Today I say you are the best knight in the world. You've killed the mightiest man and the best knight living, save for you yourself. Please, you must tell me who you are. Sir, My name is Sir Lancelot du Lake. There's no need to thank me. Helping you was what I ought to do, for the sake of King Brother, and especially for the sake of your brother, my lord Sir Gawain. Now, when you go into that castle, I am certain you will find many knights of the Round Table, because I see many of their shields in that tree. I see Sir Kay's shield, and Sir Brandel's. There is Sir Galen's shield, and Sir Brian de Lisnoy's, and Sir Aladay Duke's shield. Jesus, there's Sir Marhouse's shield, too. I also see the shields of my nephews, Sir Ector de Maris and Sir Lionel. Sir Gaheris, I ask you free them all, and greet them for me. Tell them I want them to loot this castle, and also tell them, especially my nephews, to go to Arthur's court and meet me there. I plan to be there by Pentecost's feast. Right now, I must ride with this damsel, because I promised her aid. So then, just like that, he leaves with the damsel.
This is a fun thing that Lancelot loves to do, which is not take credit.
Yeah.
That's why he always tries to ride unmarked. It's partly because if everyone knew it was Lancelot, they would never fight him. But it's also part of the sort of mystique of Lancelot is that he does all these great things, and he tries really hard not to be associated with them.
Yeah, like he doesn't just want credit.
He does them for the thing's sake.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to win the tournament because winning is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to win because everybody gave up because I'm Lancelot. Like
I want to win because that's the point.
Right, that cheapens the win. And so he's like, I saved these knights, but what matters is not that I saved them. What matters is that they are saved.
Right.
So just go in there, tell them, you take all the treasure. I don't need it. I don't want the treasure. Don't care about the treasure. And then just go away from me. Like, I'll see you guys when I see you.
Yeah. So he left with the damsel. Gaheris, the narrative focuses on Gaheris for the rest of this chapter. He goes into the castle. He finds a porter just inside, which is like a gate guard.
Yeah.
So Sir Gaheris shoves him down and takes his keys.
Just schoolyard bully.
Fuck Turquoine and anyone who works for him. Fuck
That's right.
this. Fuck this place. So then he hastily goes down into the dungeon and he frees all the prisoners. He opened every cell. He unchained any that were chained to the walls. Every knight he freed saw his wounds and thanked him because they thought it was him that defeated Sir Turquoine.
Mm-hmm.
And he told all of them, it wasn't me. It was Lancelot who slew Turquoine. I saw it all. He's a true master of the sword. He greets you all and he asks you to quickly make your way to King Arthur's court. To Lancelot's nephews, he said, especially you two. And his nephews were like, no way. We're going to search for him as long as we live. Are you kidding me? We got to go find our uncle. And then Sir Kay is like, I will search for him too. I will find him before I return to court, for I am truly a knight. So then...
I feel like Kay, as a character, is never explicitly said, but he has this chip on his shoulder. Like, being Arthur's foster brother.
Yeah.
That, like, he's got to prove himself this super awesome badass. And he's not bad. But he's kind of just like an average knight, Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses. He has this badass moment where he
has his moments.
Yeah, but most of the time it's like, yeah, he's just that knight. It's whatever. He's just a regular guy.
He's okay. He's the seneschal.
And I think that bothers him.
I think so too.
Which is why there's this moment where they're like, hey, go back to the court. And the two nephews are like, no way. And it's not until after they say, no, we're going to go find Lancelot, that he goes, no, I'm going to find him too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm truly a knight. I'm going to go.
Right. And he feels the need to say that. It's like, all right, man, you don't have to compensate so much. We get it. You're good.
You're
good.
You and 63 other knights were humiliated.
Yeah.
You
could be above average and you still failed. It's not that bad.
Yeah. But no.
But I think he has kind of
there's a thing going on with that.
Yeah, he's got an esteem issue.
So all the knights, they ransack the castle. They all find their weapons and their armor and their own horses. And they also found some fatty venison, which was very exciting because most of these knights have been starving.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, so they had a feast all throughout the night
in
to
the
celebrate.
guy's castle.
Yeah.
I love it. We steal your house, party in it.
And so once Kay, Ector, and Lionel were fed, they rode out into the night, leaving the other knights behind to, cheer and, revel
sleep off all the wine
before they go back to Camelot.
Yep.
And so that's how that ends there for that chapter.
Yeah. I love how everything turned so quick. It was Lancelot killed the guy and then everyone's like, everything's great now. Party it up. Steal all this guy's stuff. Fuck him. He's dead.
Yeah.
Screw the guy that works his front door. We don't care. I do like that he wasn't injured really.
No, he just shoved him down.
Garrett just pushes him down meh.
Give me your
Give me your
keys.
key. Give me your lunch money. And like, presumably he's still there. Like, where
Probably.
else is he gonna go?
Right.
It's like, I don't know. This is my job, man.
Like, can you imagine what the castle staff must think of all this?
It's like, God, I hope someone comes soon to like take this over so that we still have jobs. 'Cause otherwise, I don't know where we're gonna go.
Chapter 10. How Sir Lancelot rode of a damsel, and slew a knight that distressed all ladies, and also a villain that kept a bridge.
So we turn our attention back to Sir Lancelot, who's riding along on a road with that damsel that he found in the forest. She tells him that along this road there is a knight robbing and raping women. And he's like, what?
He said, "Is it Sir Gawain?"
God damn it.
Can't be Balin. That guy's dead.
Gawain's not that bad.
I know. I was just giving a hard time.
Balin's not that bad either, although my wife fucking hates that guy.
Balin's dead, but I was just giving Gawain a hard time because he's the knight that's known for not liking women.
Right. So Lancelot, he's like, what? A knight who is a thief and a rapist?
Never both.
He brings shame to the order of knighthood. He spits on his oaths. It is a pity he lives. All right, damsel, here's what we'll do. You shall ride on down this road by yourself. I will follow you covertly. If this guy turns up and starts giving you trouble, I will save you and teach him what it means to be a true knight. What say you? She was agreeable to the plan.
If there were ever any need for explicit evidence for that Lancelot is a good person, how disgusted he was at the supposed behavior of this knight.
Yeah.
Like, his reaction to being told, like, this guy's a rapist. He's like, he needs to fucking die.
Yeah.
You're like, that's, hell yeah. That's the attitude.
Yeah.
Good.
He's really sticking to those oaths.
Whatever
of the
else
round
you say
table.
about Lancelot, you're like, he does not put up with sexual assault.
He
That
does
guy
not.
does not play that fucking game. Those men get buried, all right? There's no jail. Grave. Done.
Done. Done with that. We're not fucking around.
I don't care what else that man does. That's good.
Yeah. So she ambles on down the road. It wasn't long before Sir Shithead turned up, along with his squire. So he grabs the damsel, puts her on his horse. She cries out one moment. The next moment, Sir Lancelot appears on horseback. And he's like, you are a false knight and a traitor to knighthood. Who taught you to harm women?
See, this is an interesting thing, too. He doesn't just take her word for it.
Yeah.
He's like, you go ahead, and if he does it, I'll get his ass.
Yeah.
So there's a fairness and a justice to it, too, where he's like, those are some accusations. Let's see.
Oh, that's how you interpreted it.
I thought so.
Because I took it...
I mean, the other way I interpreted it seems to paint him in a negative light, which is he's using her as bait, and that seems kind of shitty.
That wasn't even how I was thinking of it either. I was thinking of it like, if this guy sees this damsel going through the forest with a knight protecting her, he's probably like a coward and won't come out.
Well, but that's what I mean is using her as bait.
Yeah. Oh,
So
sure.
The reason I think that reflects poorly is you're using a helpless woman to draw a predator out. And
To
it's
be
like,
fair,
what if he gets away?
To be fair,
you just led this woman to her rape and murder?
that's not great.
Not
You're right.
good.
But to be fair, he did ask the woman if she was agreeable to
That's
the plan.
true. He did get consent.
She
He did.
consented to this plan.
Yeah. I just think there's a fairness denoted in the investigative part where he's
Yeah.
like, if he does it, I'll fuck him up.
I'll fuck
And
him
I'm
right
ready to. Like, I'm ready to believe you. I believe that he's doing it. I just need to
I
see
need
it,
to see it.
and then I can do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you just show up on a guy's door and you go, I'm going to fucking kill you. And
Yeah.
he's like, why? And then you tell him, but then his brother's like, you didn't know that was true. And like, it creates other problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're like, nah, I caught his ass. I got
Yeah.
him. Hands in the cookie jar, man.
Yeah. So yeah, he confronts this knight. The knight doesn't even say a word, right? He just draws his sword, rides toward Lancelot.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's wrong. He's
Of
what are you
course.
going to say?
So Lancelot tosses aside his spear, because this isn't jousting. The guy's coming at him with a sword. He draws his own sword. And then he brought the pommel down on the man's helmet so hard it dented. The man falls with a broken neck. This episode is not brought to you by...
The Shallows. Now, I don't remember the author and it doesn't matter.
What is The Shallows?
It is a book about how the internet affects your brain.
Oh boy.
And it turns out it might not be very good.
I mean, I could have told you that.
We're probably not all surprised by that. But I guess the premise of the book is that there are a lot of benefits to the internet, and only an idiot would pretend like there aren't huge benefits to the internet. But the way your brain takes in information affects how your brain processes and then gives out information.
Interesting.
And so a lot of it comes from this guy recognizing that the more he spent time on the internet, the more he's like, I can't read a book.
Oh, that's true.
He's like, I cannot focus long enough on long prose to really absorb what I'm reading. And so it feels relevant for a book club podcast. So it's like, we recognize you're on the internet right now listening to us. Maybe limit some of your other use so that you can actually read books.
Well, one of the reasons why I started this podcast in the first place was because the only way I was able to read a fucking book was as an audiobook. Like, I wasn't even reading. I was just listening to a story. I didn't have the patience to sit down and read a book.
Yep.
You know, and I recognized that was a huge problem because as a kid, I loved reading. Reading was like the thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I was that kid who, when we were like walking through the halls, like in line, my nose was in a book.
All right, I wasn't that bad, but pretty much every moment at home I was reading books.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I got internet in it.
What else does this book tell you?
Playing video games. It's almost exclusively about that, but it gets into kind of the neuroscience of it. It talks about Sigmund Freud, Menzerich, like different neurologists and psychologists, that the theories on whether or not the brain is plastic or fixed.
It's very malleable.
Yeah, well, that's what it comes to, is that it's really malleable, but habit reinforces certain pathways. So it's like the more you're on the internet and the more you're, reading short blog posts and then moving on and clicking on hyperlinks, and then you get distracted by some new hyperlink, you do that. The more you do that, the more it reinforces in your brain that this is the right way to take in information.
Was this book written before or after TikTok?
I believe it was originally written 2010.
Before TikTok.
But this is the second edition that I got, which has a fairly extensive afterword that got published, I think, 2022.
So that probably had something to say about TikTok. Have you reached that part yet?
I have not. I'm about halfway through.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, as you can tell, this podcast doesn't have any sponsors. We'd like to. We'd like to have some sponsors. So if you lovely people out there have a business or an event or
nonprofits, or if you're an author that's publishing a book,
or maybe if you're a fellow podcaster that runs a book club, maybe you could reach out and we could do a trailer swap. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. If you want to do any of those things, you can contact us at funk.lit.pod@gmail.com. That is func.lit.pod@gmail.com. If you're a normal, ordinary person who doesn't have a business or a product or an event, or, you're just...
which is totally fine and great. Hope you're living your best life.
That's the majority of people. If you are one of the majority of people but would still like to support this podcast, there are ways to do that. We have a Patreon. You can, for the minimum of $1, although you're welcome to contribute more if you'd like, if you sign up for the Patreon, you get ad-free episodes. As we've established, we don't have ads, but we'd like to one day.
You would get to not hear this.
You would get to not hear this mid-bit. This mid-bit will be skipped now and in the future when we have ads. You don't have to listen to this bit. If you like this bit and you want to keep listening to this bit, but you'd still like to support the show, we have a PayPal where you can make one-time donations there. Anyways, back to the show.
So this is just a big dick justice moment for Lancelot, because, one, he could have just speared the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, oh, come in with a sword. Lancelot could be like, what a dumbass.
Yeah.
Dink! Like, I win.
Yeah.
Before you ever got in any kind of range to harm me.
But
then he's like, I will draw my sword.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to use it.
And I'm just going
to hit you with the blunt side and kill you that way.
And then he said, when the man fell, he was like, you got what has long been coming to you.
Hell yeah. Damn right he did.
So the damsel says in response, it's true. As Sir Turquoise sought to destroy knights, this knight sought to ruin all women, be they ladies, damsels, or gentlewomen. His name was Sir Paris the Forest Savage.
Love that.
Sir Paris de Forest Savage. Lancelot's all business. He's like, do you have any more service of me, dear damsel?
Yeah. He's like, wow, that was really cool. And he goes, yeah, anything else?
You got any?
It's just more stuff?
And so she's like, no, sir, not at this time. But may Jesus save you wherever you go, because you are the most courteous knight and gentle to all women. But there is one thing I think you lack, Sir Knight. You are a knight without a wife, who will not love a woman. I have never heard it said you loved or made love to any women, which is a great pity. But I have heard it rumored that you love Queen Guinevere, that the queen has a spell on you that makes it so you cannot love anyone but her, and so no woman may please you. Many women, low-born and high, weep that they cannot have you. Who the hell is this lady? Like, the gall. Like, he did you a favor. And now you're talking to him about his love life? Like,
see, but in her mind, she's trying to do him a favor, too.
She's like, hey, do you want to... Like, this is her, like, roundabout way of saying, like, hey...
I mean, eventually it will come around to that. But even just the point of, like, you know, you need a wife.
Yeah.
You know, like, someone needs to take care of you. You're a good man.
Yeah.
You should have a wife.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of women that would love to be your wife.
Yeah.
And then she gets into the rumor part where she's like, you know, that people say Guinevere's kind of a witch and she's got a spell on you. And that's what it is. Now, that's the part that's like, that's going to piss Lancelot off.
Just pro tip to women, or I guess just people in general, talking to a man about how much he doesn't get laid, not the way to go. Just
He's never going to be like, God, you're so right. Even if you are. He's going to be like, yeah, I fucking know. Okay? I'm acutely, painfully aware
of how much I don't fuck.
She's basically saying like, hey, I've heard you're a virgin.
Yeah.
And judging him for it, being like, that's a pity. You should not.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck you, man.
Well, that's not actually what he's like. Although, I mean, I guess he is in a respectful way.
Well,
right?
he would never say that to a woman.
No, never.
A lady does not deserve to be sworn at so crudely.
But so what he says is, fair damsel, I have never told anyone not to say what they may about me. But to be a married man would be too inhibiting. I'd have to stay near my wife. I would have to limit what adventures and tournaments I participated in, what wars I went to. And as for the suggestion that I take lovers, that I shall never do, for fear of God. Lecherous knights shall never be happy or do well in wars. They will be overcome by simpler knights than themselves, or else slay better knights than themselves. All who take lovers are unhappy, and all things about them are unhappy. Now, I don't know about any of that, but it's interesting reasoning.
Yeah, well, he's like, well, I can't get married, because if I got married, then, like, it'd be a problem.
I'd be tied down.
When I go to war. Well, it's not even the tied down in the, like, the old ball and chain. Like, in real life, when the Crusades were called, and, like, all, you know, men of arms in Christendom were called to go retake the Holy Land.
Sure.
It was actual practice that wives could prohibit their husbands from going.
Oh.
Like, the husband would be like, I'm going to go. And the wife could say,
the fuck you are.
No, you're fucking not. And they'd be like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm the husband. And the church was like, no, they can. You owe them.
You are married
and
to
like,
them.
The logic was marriage it's a sacramental, it's holy, it's whatever. It's also a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a contract you signed with God as your co-signer. So you have to obey it. And part of that contract entitles your wife to your physical presence. So if she doesn't agree to let you go for a decade to go fight Saracens in the Holy Land, too fucking bad, bro. You have to stay.
Yeah.
She is entitled to have you here, to hold hands with, to have sex with, to help take care of the children. You agreed to do that. And if she's not going to let you out of it, you don't get out of it.
So Lancelot has very good reason.
Yeah, so it could very much be. He's not like, well, the women will nag me. It's like they could legitimately require me to stay home, and there's nothing I could do about it because to be a good man, I would have to.
I love this, like, fallacy of logic, though, as far as, like, taking lovers goes.
Well, that's very much the Christian ethic that he's, like, living through, where he's like, no sex outside of marriage.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a godly man.
Yeah.
What I do like is the thing he draws is like, and because the lecherous knight in war will be defeated by knights lesser than him,
Yeah.
because he's a sinful man, and so God will let that happen. Or, and he sees this as a negative, that they will slay knights better than them.
Yeah.
Where you would think, well, that's a good thing, right? Like, they won. They slayed the better knight, so now they get better. And he goes, no. If you suck because you're a sinful bag of shit, you don't deserve to beat the better knight.
Yeah.
It diminishes knighthood that you should win.
Yeah.
The better guy should win.
That's
So I just like, that was an interesting thing for him to say, like, no, because then I would suck. And if I won, that'd be worse. I shouldn't win if I suck. I should lose.
Yeah. It's very interesting. But yeah, so like that's like the last thing he says to this woman before he says goodbye, and then they leave each other's company. So then he rides through the forest for many days, sleeping in the forest, like cue like travel montage.
Yeah.
Right? He travels for like 3 days. On the third day, he rides over a bridge. On that bridge was a quote-unquote passing foul churl, which I take to mean like a rake or a bully or an asshole.
Yeah. Just some, like, dirty, mean peasant man.
Yeah, so this churl whacks Lancelot's horse on the nose, which made Lancelot stop and ask, why?
Super rude. Why you hit my horse, bro?
So the churl says, why do you ride over this bridge without my permission? And Lancelot's like, why shouldn't I ride over this bridge? I can't exactly ride next to it.
Which is a funny response.
Yeah.
He goes, what the fuck you want me to do? Swim across, bro? Like, I gotta be on the bridge.
The churl is like, you have no choice, and then swings at him with this great club made of iron. So Lancelot draws his sword and smites the man, lodging his sword through his head and down his torso to the nipples. Now you may be wondering, why are you phrasing it that way? Because, in the original translation, it was said that Lancelot clave his head unto the paps. Paps are nipples.
Yep.
On the other side of the bridge was a decent-sized village, and the townspeople were not happy with Lancelot. They said a lot of nasty things to him that boiled down to, you killed our castle's chief porter, asshole! So Lancelot just kind of stoically took all of these insults, let them say what they wanted, and then when they were done, he went straight to the village's castle. Once in the courtyard, he dismounted, tied his horse to a ring on the wall, and then he looked around and realized the courtyard would be an ideal location to duel, so he prepared himself for dueling. The chapter ends with Lancelot realizing there were many people looking at him through doors and windows, and they said to him, "Fair knight, you are upset." Like, this didn't make me cackle, but it did strike me as very amusing. Like, just imagine for a second that you're, like, a lord's butler or a maid or a cook, and you see this knight that you've never seen before ride up into the courtyard and start walking around ready for a fight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we start with this dickhead at the bridge, basically the troll under the bridge story, being like, what are you doing on my bridge, boy?
What are you doing?
And he's like, go fuck yourself. I'm going to use the bridge, man. And he goes, no, you can't use the bridge. So he kills him. He comes into this town. Town looks nice. It's a prosperous town.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, hey, dickhead, that was our castle's guy. Well, so now everybody's mad at him for killing the castle guy. But the castle guy sucked. So what's the obvious assumption? Well, the people in the castle must suck.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the employee, what's the employer like?
Right.
So he goes to the castle and he's like, I'm going to have to fight somebody. Like, I murdered the guy in charge.
The chief gate guard.
The groundskeeper here.
Yeah.
I murdered the manager of the store.
Yeah.
Okay. The owner's going to have some business with me. So he goes to the castle straight away. He's like, I better head there.
Yeah.
Notices this courtyard is ideal for the duel. I'm not going anywhere else. They might catch me in a less than ideal spot, so I'll stay here. But he's pissed.
Yeah.
Because he's a virtuous man. We assume these are unvirtuous people. Like, you shouldn't have this castle. These townspeople should be ruled by good people, not bad people.
Well said. And then it gets weird.
Chapter 11. How Sir Lancelot slew 2 giants and made a castle free.
So let me just say this. Way more happens than the voice of Camelot just told us. Like, way more than just this. But let's get into the giants thing. So out of nowhere, for no clear reason, these 2 giants just show up, and Lancelot kills them in like 10, maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah,
like
just annihilates
This
them.
book doesn't give you a time scale, but check this out, okay? The giants, they were wearing armor except for helmets, and each one of them had a massive club. So Lancelot holds his shield up in front of him and goes at one of the giants quick and just dispatches it quickly, right? His opening move was cutting off its head.
That's
was
what
his
you get for
opening
no
move.
helmet, man. That's why helmets are worn.
Right? So the other giant sees this and runs away, which I think is sensible.
Yeah,
You
he goes,
know?
oh shit, that was quick.
Like-
I'm out.
Like if a
I
monkey,
also don't have a helmet.
Like if a monkey cut off my friend's head, I'd run away too.
You
Like-
wouldn't get away though. They're fast.
No!
Monkeys are fast, dude.
And by that token, Lancelot's faster than this giant.
That's true.
Chases after him, drives his sword through the giant's shoulder down to his belly button, which I think is an impressive move when the giant is armored.
That's even further than the Paps.
Uh-huh.
An important thing to remember is that Arthur fought one giant and almost fucking died.
Yeah.
Lancelot just took on 2.
Yeah.
No sweat.
No sweat. Now, we don't know if these are the same types of giants as the Romans used. Because
Well, no,
those
but the-
giants
but the
were
ones
like
that
the
the
children
Romans-
of devils.
Right. They should presumably be far stronger and more intimidating.
Yeah.
Than these giants, but still.
We don't know what kind of giants they are, but nonetheless, they are giants.
Yeah.
So yeah, after Lancelot just casually kills these 2 random giants, he strolls on into the castle's entry hall, and there, 60 women all kneel in front of him and start singing his praises, thanking God for sending him, etc.
That's got to do a lot to the ego.
Right?
It's not good. That could be confusing for a man not prepared for that kind
Yeah.
of reception.
Just like, man, a lot of women think I'm really cool.
What is happening right now?
So the women, they explain to him that they've been seamstresses to earn their food, and they've been like the giant's prisoners for 7 years. And so then they say, "Bless the day you were born, Sir Knight, for today you have been the most honorable knight in the world. We will sing your praises. We just ask you tell us your name so we can tell our friends who freed us from prison." And he's like, "Fair damsels, I am Sir Lancelot du Lake." And they're like, "Ah, you must be, for we have often said the only knight who could kill these 2 giants was Sir Lancelot. Many knights have tried those giants in battle and died, and many times we've wished for you, because these giants have never feared anyone except for when they saw you." So Lancelot's like, "Sure, tell your friends who saved you, and tell them all I said hi, and welcome me if you ever see me. Any treasures you find in this castle are yours for the suffering you've endured these long years."
Again, he's not taking credit. He's like, all the treasures your guys'.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He's like, whoever the lord of this castle is, he should have it back. That's like his judgment. He's like,
Yeah.
let's give this back to whoever owns it.
It's fair.
The ladies tell him that this castle's name is Tintagel.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. They explain to him that it once belonged to a duke, but he died, and then his wife Igraine married the one who killed him, Uther Pendragon, and they conceived King Arthur. So Lancelot's like, "Oh, so it belongs to Arthur then. All right." And then he bids them farewell.
Yeah.
And then cue adventure montage. So before moving on to the next bit, it's interesting that Tintagel comes up.
Yeah.
For those of you that didn't listen to our first story, Tintagel was a big part of the beginning of all of this.
It was one of the 2 castles that belonged to the Duke of Cornwall, who Uther Pendragon killed and then disguised himself as to sleep with his wife.
Yeah.
To beget Arthur.
Yeah. So it's interesting that now, decades later, this castle is owned by
2
two giants and has been owned by 2 giants for 7 years.
Yeah. Which would mean that it sat abandoned for quite a while.
Yeah. Like
Until the giants took it.
I wonder about that. I feel like Arthur, this has to be like intentional neglect on Arthur's part. That's how this feels to me.
Yeah. Why would he not? I think there's there could be a shame associated with what happened with his father.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
often fathers, especially when they're not good, are depicted as monstrous. And so I think the fact that there are giants there makes sense. You know, the giants are sort of the ghost of Arthur's past. Where he's like,
Mhm.
I don't want to be who my father was.
Yeah,
And that castle was a reminder of it.
yeah.
Like that my dad murdered a man to steal his wife. And it was only through that horrible sin that I was even born.
Well, anyways, Lancelot goes on a bunch of adventures that the narrative just glosses over because it gets into the next adventure that it does talk about.
Yeah.
One night, He finds an old woman in a courtyard. She happily lets him in and, lets him and his horse stay there for the night. While Lancelot's getting ready for bed, someone knocks at the gate. So he looks out the window and he sees a knight there. Behind him, there's 3 knights, coming at him.
Yeah, weapons drawn.
Yeah, so when they reach him, they all attack this one knight with swords, and he defends himself. Lancelot decided 3-on-1 wasn't fair, and that he'd fight with the man. So he climbs out and down the second floor window from a sheet. And he's like, hey, quit fighting that knight and face me instead. So this is where we learn the first knight is Sir Kay. He doesn't announce himself or anything. The narrative is just kind enough to tell us that when the 3 knights turn and attack Lancelot.
Right.
And so then Kay starts to help him, and Lancelot's like, no, I don't want your help. I'm helping you.
Right. Said, no, you stay back. I got this.
So Kay's like, all right, fine, I'll step back. And then Lancelot knocks down all 3 knights with 6 strikes.
Yeah. Just cleans him up. This is another good example of the humility of Lancelot.
Yeah.
He could have stayed in the castle.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No.
He only stayed in the castle with Sir Bagdemagus because he won and would have been rude to leave. But as soon as he can excuse himself from high society, he does.
Okay.
And he leaves. And then he finds this old woman in a cottage and takes a room upstairs.
Oh, you're talking about Lancelot.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is not what most knights would consider befitting of them.
Yeah.
So they're kind of building him up as this man of the people even, where he's
Yeah.
he's this very average guy. He doesn't take the treasure. He's like, I don't want the money. I'm not worried about money.
He's already the son of the King of France.
Right. But as yet, they haven't talked about any of his property, like where his land is.
Yeah.
Presumably in France somewhere, but he's in England right now. He doesn't own anything here except his armor and his horse.
Mm-hmm.
And so he forgoes the luxurious for the sake of the practical, which is a common theme with him. That's the playing at arms. I don't want to do that. That's a luxury. To pretend to fight is a luxury. Rich people do that. I'm going to go find real reasons to fight.
Yeah.
I want real purpose. I don't take a bunch of lovers. That's what rich people do. I love one woman. I love one woman and that's enough. And I don't even need the sex part. I just love her. I'm good with that. The luxury of that, I don't need. I don't need to stay in the castle. I don't need all that money. I'm happy to stay in this old woman's extra bedroom.
There is, you reminded me of, are you familiar with the YouTuber Philosophy Tube?
No.
So there's a link that I'm going to send to you after this, and I'll put it in the episode description. It's this philosophy to do with British pride when it comes to the royal family. And the hypothesis alleged in that video is that the reason why everyone loves the royal family is because they want to fuck the queen.
I see.
There's this just infatuation with the royal family, and it's
now, was it arguing Queen Elizabeth, or now we talking about
the queen,
Camilla?
just the queen, whoever the queen is. There's
capital T, capital Q.
There's this nonsensical appeal to whoever is in charge. This would extend to the king as well.
Right,
when someone is in that position of power, you want to fuck them.
Interesting.
It was a very amusing video. I'll share it with you. But you made me think of that just now. It's Lancelot wants to fuck the queen, so that's all he needs.
Well, it sounds like he's just the epitome of British pride then.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because he's a Frenchman.
So, anyways, the Lancelot knocks down these 3 knights in 6 strikes. And they're like, we yield. And Lancelot's like, I do not accept your yield. Yield to Sir Kay, your seneschal. Only then will I spare your lives. And they're like, fair knight, we would hate to do that. We were winning against him. Yielding to him makes no sense.
That's a fair argument. Well, hang on. He didn't beat us. You did.
But also it was 3-on-1. So.
But again, Lancelot is not taking credit.
No, Lancelot's like, it's your choice if you live or die. But if you live, it'll be because you yielded to Sir Kay. And they're like, fine, we yield to Sir Kay.
Yeah. Just do it or I'll fucking kill you. Like, all right.
Fine. So Lancelot's like, good. Then next on Whit Sunday, you will go to King Arthur's court and you'll yield to Queen Guinevere. You will put yourself in her command, her mercy, and tell them that Sir Kay sent you there to be her prisoners. So, quick aside. I had to look up what Whit Sunday was. It is literally the 7th Sunday after Easter.
Yes.
Did not know that. Like, these liturgical holidays, when it comes to Christianity, are so strange to me. Because, like,
if you think ours are weird, look into Jewish holidays. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's like, you need to go to King Arthur's court on Whit Sunday. Be there by Whit Sunday. And so the knights swore on their honor and their lives that they would do as he asked. And only because they swore on their honor would he allow them to leave. You know, this kind of thing, it used to be preposterous to me, like, that, like, we're just trusting these knights that get their ass beat, that they'll do what the winner says.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really do think these guys are going to go. Like, it's weird, but, like, I feel like honor is a powerful thing among these guys. Like, they took oaths.
If you ever read Don Quixote, or Don Quixote, I'm not exactly sure.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Don Quixote. They mock this idea a lot. So Don Quixote's basically a comedy.
Yeah.
Making fun of, like, old romanticist tales of chivalry.
Yeah.
Because he basically goes crazy, thinks he's going to be a knight errant, but he's doing it in, like, 16th century Spain. And everybody's like, this is nonsense.
This
like,
doesn't make any sense.
Fucking lives this way.
Well,
and, like, one of the first adventures he goes on, he finds a man beating his servant boy in the woods. And he's got, like, an old suit of armor that's rusty, but he's cleaned it up. He's got a sword that's not sharp, but it works. He makes a helmet out of cardboard because his helmet doesn't quite cover his head. But so he rides up and he starts berating this man for beating this boy.
Yeah.
And demands that he take the boy back to his house and pay him his wages, like, times 10, and he lets him out of his service, whatever. And the guy's like, no, I'm not going to fucking do that. And he goes, you're going to do it or I'll kill you. And the guy goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'll definitely do that. My mistake.
Guy wearing a cardboard helmet.
And the boy is like, sir, don't believe him. Like, you should come with us to make sure that he does that. And he says, no, he is sworn by his honor. I must go where others need me.
Oh my
and he rides
God.
off. And as soon as he's out of sight, the guy just goes back to beating the boy even harder. Because he's like, you tried to get that guy to let you out of your fucking service. And just starts whooping his ass more. And he goes, I'll give you your fucking pay.
Damn.
And so that's just the whole book, is just him doing these things where he thinks he's helping people. And it always makes it worse.
Because nobody shares the sense of honor he does.
Well, no one shares any of his values. He's like, I'm a knight. And they go, no, you're not. You're a fucking lunatic.
Who knighted you? Who did that?
A barkeep. That's a legit thing.
So anyway, Lancelot, he knocks on the courtyard's gate with the pommel of his sword. The old woman meets him there and lets him back in along with Sir Kay. She's like,
confused.
Sir?
Yeah.
I thought you went to bed. And he's like, that was so, but I got up and went out the window to help an old friend of mine. So now that they were in the light, Sir Kay recognized Lancelot instantly. And he's like, thank you. You have helped me twice from death. Lancelot's like, sir, I have done nothing but what I ought to do. But you're welcome. You should rest here.
Keeping with the theme of Lancelot's humility, he gives Kay the bed.
Not in my version.
Oh, in mine it specifies that Kay takes Lancelot's bed. It doesn't make it clear whether or not there is another bed, and Lancelot takes that one. But the idea is that Lancelot had a bed that was promised to him. It was his to sleep in. He'd already been sleeping in it.
Yeah.
And he gives it to Kay. He's like, take this. Now, it didn't allude to the fact whether it was a bed. I choose to believe there wasn't, and he just slept on the floor.
So in my version, after Kay gets his armor off, he asks for meat. Specifically for meat. He was given meat. He snarfed it down.
Well,
then they
probably
both
very hungry.
Yeah. So then they both go to sleep. They had to share a bed. It specified that they shared a single bed.
Oh, well, that's still humble. That
Yeah.
still keeps with the theme.
So then in the morning, Lancelot, he wakes up first. And so while Kay's sleeping, he dresses up in Kay's armor, takes Kay's horse, and leaves. When Kay wakes up, he sees his armor is gone, and he thinks to himself, Lancelot's gonna upset some of King Arthur's court. Knights are gonna try to bully him, thinking it's me, and that'll fool them. With his armor and shield, I'll have a peaceful ride home. So soon after, Kay leaves the old woman's courtyard in Lancelot's armor and thanks her for her hospitality. And I'm wondering if Lancelot did that for that purpose. Like, Like, I feel like that is pretty much why he did it. Like, he didn't want to be recognized as himself.
Yeah, so in my version, it does specify through Kay's sort of inner monologue that he goes, oh, shit, I see why he did it. Which was, now he goes unrecognized. He's like, all of my enemies are now going to attack him, which is probably what he wants.
Yeah.
Because then he gets to fight and defeat people that he doesn't like.
Absolutely.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And now Kay can get home unmolested, which is also what he wants. So in this one move, Lancelot has both assured himself of further adventure and protected Kay.
Yeah. I question the logic here, right? Because in my mind, I feel like there's a lot of knights that want to challenge Lancelot because it's like, oh, he's so good.
That's the caveat.
And at the same time, I feel like you're going to have a lot of knights that are going to want to bully Lancelot because he's disguised as Kay. And Kay has been established at this point to be a loser.
Yeah, he's kind of the butt of the joke.
Right.
Which is why he's got the chip on his shoulder.
By the way, is bullshit. Kay is a badass, okay?
He's
this
pretty
dude,
awesome.
He killed 2 kings with 1 spear.
That's true.
Like, that happened. Anyways.
You know, it's been like years later. People are like, you still telling that fucking story, dude? Like,
you're right. Maybe that was just one moment.
Yeah, there's like, it's been so long. You've done nothing since. He's the college football athlete that never made NFL, but is like riding that. I was starting for Alabama, man. And you're like, all right,
the
dude.
War of the 5 Kings. I love that.
Yeah, that was his high school football state championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the caveat that, like, if there are enemies of Lancelot, they're probably way out of Kay's league.
Yeah.
And it could cause problems, but there's probably fewer of them.
Yeah.
So it's still a better odds that he gets home unmolested. And yeah, but I think Lancelot wants people to pick on him because he may have reached this point in his fame where he's kind of becoming untouchable.
Yeah.
And that can make life dull. You know, like, I imagine celebrities, like real big celebrities, think like Will Smith, Tom Cruise, like top of the list of A-list celebrities. How many like normal conversations do you think they get to have with like regular people?
They don't.
You know, and I don't know that they want to, but if they did, it would be damn near impossible because you'd be so wrapped up in your own mind of like, that's fucking Will Smith.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to want to ask about when you did iRobot. Did you read the book?
Here's the thing about Will Smith, too. Like, he understood that his fame would only extend as far as America. So he went out of his way to make sure that his movies were published in other countries. Yeah. He was like... So now he's like a big deal in Japan, for instance.
Yeah.
You know?
But so that makes it hard to just, like, be a normal guy.
Yeah.
And if you want to do that, it's fucking impossible. So I think that's kind of where Lancelot might be, is that he is this humble guy. He just wants to live a virtuous life and be a good man, but it's hard to do
when he's so famous.
Because there's the legend of Lancelot.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to be like a regular knight today.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll be Kay. Kay's a regular knight. I'll be him.
I'll be Kay.
Yeah. Chapter 12. How Sir Lancelot rode disguised in Sir Kay's harness, and how he smote down a knight.
So, Lancelot goes gallivanting around to Sir Kay now. He's traveling through another great forest. He finds himself in a land full of rivers and meadows, and then he comes across this long bridge, and on the bridge there are 3 pavilions, and they're like made out of silk and sendal, and they're multicolored.
It has to be a big bridge for there to be 3 pavilions on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, unless what it means is like right off of the bridge on the other side, but I don't think that's what that means.
Well, from mine, it didn't lead me to believe it was just off of it. It was on it.
That's
best
what
I can tell.
That's what I'm thinking.
So each one of these pavilions has a white shield, lots of spears hanging about it, and also in front of each pavilion are 3 squires standing outside them. So Lancelot passes right by the squires without a word. Then he passes by the 3 knights of those pavilions that are, I guess, are like just off of the bridge.
Yeah.
And so
they're going hanging out, you know, they're having a nice picnic or something.
So then they heckle him. One's like, oh, look, the proud Kay. He thinks no knights are better than him, but the contrary is often proven.
So there goes that fucking loudmouth that talks a lot of shit but gets his ass beat.
So another night, Sir Gaunter, he's like, "But by my faith," which I think is synonymous with "I swear" or "on my honor." A lot of knights say "by my faith." They're like, "I will chase after him and fight him since he's so proud, and you can see how I do." So Sir Gaunter arms himself.
I like the pompous tone you're giving these guys. It's very fitting that they sound like these like posh, prissy idiots.
I mean, that's the impression I got from the pavilions.
Yeah.
Lancelot doesn't have a fancy multicolored pavilion.
He does not.
So Sir Gaunter arms himself. He equips his shield. He gets on his horse. He grabs a spear, chases after Lancelot. When Gaunter reaches him, he cries, "Abide, thou proud knight, Sir Kay, for thou shalt not pass." In other words, get ready, you proud jackass.
Yes. That is, in essence, what they say.
So Sir Gaunter obviously lost that fight. Lancelot knocked him and his horse down, and then one of his brothers, Sir Raynauld, was like, "That's not Kay. He's bigger than Kay." Gaunter's other brother, Sir Gilmer, he's like, "I bet my head that knight has killed Sir Kay and taken his horse and his saddle." And Raynald's like, "Whether or not that's true, let's go get on our horses and rescue our brother before he gets killed. It'll take all three of us to take on that guy, who seems like either Sir Lancelot, Sir Tristram, or Sir Pelleas." "You mean that sap who loved that plain-looking lady and then married a witch?" And Reynald's like, "Yes, that sap who married a witch. Now focus, Gilmer. We got work to do."
To be fair, that witch is a very powerful witch.
Oh, she sure is.
And a good woman.
Yeah, she is
and
a good woman. Mm-hmm. So they grab their horses, and they attack Lancelot. Lancelot flattens Sir Gilmer. And Reynald's like, "Sir Knight, you are a strong man. It appears you've slain my brothers, which has mightily angered me. By my honor, I would not fight you, but I must do as my brothers did. So, Knight, prepare yourself." They hurl themselves at each other. They splinter their spears. They draw swords and start dueling on horseback. At this moment, Sir Gaunter gets up from the ground, and he goes to his brother Gilmer and says, "Get up, we gotta help Raynauld.
Yeah.
He's somehow holding his own against that guy."
Yeah. Like, oh shit, I didn't know he was this good.
Yeah.
Dang.
So they get back on their horses, and they go at Lancelot. Lancelot sees them coming, so he knocks Raynauld off his horse real quick, and then he hits the other two brothers with one hit each, knocking them back down to the ground. Raynauld gets up. His head's bleeding. He's running at Lancelot. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
And Lancelot's like, "Oh, quit it. I wasn't far from you when you were made a knight, Sir Raynauld, and I know you're a good knight, so I would hate to have to kill you." Raynaud's like, "Thank you. That's good of you. I dare say, speaking for my brothers and myself, we wouldn't hate to yield to you, but you must tell us your name, because we know there's no way you're Sir Kay."
He said, all right, we give. But, like, you're not Kay.
"You're not Kay. Who are you?" And so he's like, "While that may be," Lancelot, he's like, "While that may be, you will yield to Dame Guinevere. Be in her court on Whit Sunday, and yield to her as your prisoners. You will tell her that Sir Kay sent you." So they swore they would, and then Sir Lancelot left, and the three brothers, they helped each other back to their pavilions as best they could. Notably here, he did not tell them who he was.
He did not.
Yeah.
And the irony here is Kay, presumably, is on his way back to Camelot.
Uh-huh.
So Kay will be in Camelot.
Yeah.
When these three show up.
Yeah.
And say, "We surrendered to Sir Kay." And they're going to go, "He's fucking
Right there.
What do you mean?" And Kay's going to go like, "I don't know these guys. I've never seen those guys in my fucking life." Now, he knows Lancelot has his armor, but is he going to say anything?
Well, see, this
know.
is the interesting thing, right? Like, Lancelot's so honorable, so humble. He doesn't want anybody to know all these awesome things that he does. And he sets things up to give credit to other knights. But the other knights, for the most part, are also honorable. And so they're going to honorably say, "Wasn't me."
Right. I just think he's having fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's going to get a big laugh out of it, you know? Like, he's going to come back, and they're going to be like, "Ah, you son of a bitch. That was you."
Fucker.
And Kay's going to go, "I was in on it. I knew." It's just fun.
Yeah. See, this is the interesting thing, especially after the last book, right? Because the last book was very serious. It was about conquering Rome.
Yeah.
But now that they've conquered Rome, all these knights are just fucking around again. In fact, more so than usual, right? Like, this is like, we won. We're the rulers of the world. We're just going to fuck around.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We're invincible.
Like, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, this is like the height of King Arthur's kingdom.
Yeah, this is... T.H. White talks about this in The Once and Future King, from Arthur's perspective, as being like, this kind of behavior becomes a problem.
I'll bet.
Because this happens, and it's not Lancelot that's doing it. Like, he's doing things more or less the right way. And he's never really had an issue with the things Lancelot does as a knight, because he's always worked out, and like, he's doing the right thing.
I mean, Lancelot is a better knight than he needs to be. Better than his oaths require him to be.
He buys into the spirit of the oath, not the letter of it.
Yeah.
But when all these other knights go gallivanting around doing whatever nonsense they want, like the tournament between the King of North Gallus and King Bagdemagus.
For why?
Right. Why? And who suffers? The peasant class.
Yeah.
Like someone's fields just got fucking trampled and now they can't use it for the season. And that's a problem.
All of those knights were lords that are now dead.
Right. Which means all the people they supported, all the economy that depended on their income and their investment, gone.
Yeah.
There's people that are going to starve now because there was no lord to be like, hey, we brought in extra grain because we had a short year from this other place and I paid for it. It's done. They're fucked.
Yeah.
And so in The Once and Future King, Arthur works really hard to find productive outlets for the knights, one of which is the quest for the Holy Grail. Mm-hmm. He's like, you guys are just aimlessly looking for shit to do, and it's tearing stuff up. This is not good. And so he gives them the mission, like, go do this, so they have a purpose, what Lancelot's been looking for this whole time. He kind of uses Lancelot as the template to be like, what is he doing? He's always doing good. Oh, because he has a fucking purpose.
Yeah.
I'll just give everybody else a purpose, and then that'll fix it.
Right the wrongs. He's going about, when people see him, they're like, help me. And he's like, okay, I'll help you.
Right. And so, like, in The Once and Future King, it's a lot of Arthur being like, go out and find shit that's wrong and fix it.
Yeah.
That'll give you a purpose. That'll keep you out of trouble. And then when you run out of that stuff, the Holy Grail. Go look for that shit. That'll keep you busy, and that'll keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what we're seeing Lancelot do the good way.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, I don't know what's happening.
But at the same time, though, he's not a wet blanket. Like, he has a unique personality.
Yeah, he's not like some Mary Sue, like, I'm everything perfect.
Yeah.
Like, he's still in love with a married woman.
Yeah.
He still has complicated emotions. He's pulling pranks on people.
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking with people. So he's not just this stick in the mud.
Like, I must do the lawful thing all the time.
You're like stereotypical, boring D&D paladin.
Yeah.
He's not that.
No.
He's a normal guy, does normal guy things. He's just a guy with a stronger than average moral compass.
Yeah. Like, I think that is interesting, that, like, even though you're right, he essentially is a paladin, right? Like, like, he's a knight that took oaths. The only thing that is separating him from a paladin is he doesn't have, like, divine powers.
Right. Not overt, man. His sword isn't shining as he smites the churl on the bridge.
Although, it does make me wonder, because I've not read past this, it does make me wonder if, like, there is a moment when he does start fucking Guinevere, and then he becomes less impressive.
Yeah. So, there comes a moment. Again, I'm pulling from T.H. White's thing, because there's a lot more character development in that than there is in La Morte Arthur.
Oh, yeah. There's so little to go on in La Morte Arthur. Which is why it's so good.
But one of the reasons that Lancelot is so against marrying and taking a lover is the idea that within Christianity, that virgins are by default more virtuous. And so a lot of the saints that have performed miracles were virgins. They were consecrated virgins, or they were just too young. They were priests that took vows of celibacy, so they were virgins, and then they performed miracles, and so they're saints. So the idea that he was going with was he wanted that moment. He wanted to perform a miracle, and in order to preserve himself for that, for the glory of God, he will not do that.
This reminds me of our Hindu myths. Remember when we covered Hindu myths?
Mm-hmm.
How there was a subsect of stories that had to do with this idea of true men, like hyper masculine men, being the ones that don't fuck.
Right. Yeah. Having a lot of sex was seen as weak and more feminine.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, don't do that. And that's actually, there's...
It's so strange how these views change over
Yeah,
time.
I get, there's some of that in Christianity too. I can't remember what saint it was, but it may have been, no, couldn't have been St. Augustine. He was kind of a debaucherous guy.
Was he really?
Anyway, before he converted. He was from a very wealthy Italian family, I want to say.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, he had life handed to him. He was the guy at the party. You know?
Ah.
But then later he converts and is like, oh, I was fucking all this up. Like, I was looking for happiness in all the wrong places. His book, Confessions, is just all about the shit he did in his early life. He's like, regretted every bit of that. That was terrible. But some saint said that he would never respect pagans until they insist that chastity is a virtue. Until then, they will always be slaves to their lust.
That's a hard sell for pagans.
It's very hard sell for pagans, unless you're that specific sect of Hindu, in which case you go, damn right. That's fucking right. That guy knows what I'm saying. Speaking the same language over here. But yeah, the idea is just not to be a slave to your desires. Like, oh, I want to do that. That doesn't mean you should do that. You should hold that in check. And there's virtue in holding it in check, even if the act itself is not inherently bad.
I do feel like that there is another extreme in the other direction. If you are so extreme about your virtuousness, it's almost like you're getting off on your virtuousness.
There's virtue exercised for the sake of worldly recognition.
Yeah.
That's bad. And so that's kind of what Lancelot is trying to do. He's like, I want to do the miracle. And like the correct Christian attitude would be, miracles should be done for the glory of God, not your satisfaction.
Well, I mean, to speak to that, he's not taking credit for things. Like, he tells people, for the most part, he tells people who he is only after they ask.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he doesn't even do that.
But it's getting to, he's like, I'm going to maintain my virginity so that I can perform a miracle.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be you?
Why does it have to be him?
Because he's making it about him. He's like, but I want to do it. Right. That's not the point. The point shouldn't be that you want to do it.
Yeah.
The point is that it can be done. And if you're the proper vessel or channel for it, then great. That'll happen. But if you're making it about you, it will never happen. If you're like, I want to do a miracle because I want people to think I can lay hands on them and cure cancer, then you'll never be able to do that. Yeah. Because God's not going to glorify you. No. That's not the point.
No. So I would like to mention as an addendum how many paragraphs each of these chapters had originally.
Oh, okay.
So we started on chapters. I talked about chapter 7. I mentioned that one. Mm-hmm. So chapter 8. Would you like to take a guess? How many paragraphs?
5.
3.
Damn.
Chapter 9. 3 paragraphs. Chapter 10. 4 paragraphs. Chapter 11. 4 paragraphs. Chapter 12. 3 paragraphs.
Dang, 3 and 4. He's like, that seems to be where he likes to keep it.
Yeah.
3 to 4.
Now that said, again, these are the worst frickin' paragraphs. They're so stupid long. There's no quotation marks. Like, there's a lot of me having to kind of figure out who said what. Like, it's usually pretty clear because people speak differently, but like, it's just a wall of text, man. Like, I don't know how anybody can read this crap as it is. But yeah, we're going to wrap up for today. Yep. In 2 weeks, we will be back, and we will be talking about adventures that Sir Lancelot went while dressed up as Kay.
Talking about the Chapel Perilous.
The Chapel Perilous. I'm excited about that one. That was
a good story. See you guys.
Yeah, bye.